Now, I'm going to jump on straight to item 3 where it says Nezha and the Hero Twins. This is something that I find remarkable, but before I explain, let me preface my story by telling you something important. That is, usually when we tell oral tradition stories, native stories especially, we are not supposed to express a preference or one is better than the other because usually again there's lots of different versions of the same story and it's kind of disrespectful for us to kind of diss each other's stories, each other's versions of the story. So keep that in mind. You might hear me tell a story and that's not the way my grandmother told it, and I'm not going to diss your grandmother's version. I'm not going to diss another tribe's version. And well, that's just the native etiquette that we grew up with. With that being said, I do have to direct your attention to Nezha. This has been blowing up all over China right now. And if you've been following they come out with this cartoon about this little boy, and he supposedly lives up in heaven and he's a one heck of a tough warrior. And this is an older version of him. I think it's from the 1970s. And this is a cute artist rendition of him. I wish I could shrink this down more, but I can't. But he's supposed to be one hot warrior. He's got a ring of fire that he holds, and he also has these cool burning wheels, and he's got a spear, and he's supposed to be pretty much undefeatable because even though he's just a little kid, I think in this he's supposed to be about 8 or 9 years old, something like that, and he's immortal now, and he lives up in heaven, and he's one of the enforcers. There's a long story about him that he was born to the son as the son of a general, high general, I think in the Tang Dynasty in China, and his wife was pregnant with him for 3 years. Imagine a 3-year pregnancy. And when he was finally born, he was born as a little lump of flesh, a little round ball of flesh. And his father thought, oh my gosh, this is some kind of evil demon. And he took his sword and he whacked at this ball of flesh, and out popped a fully formed little boy. Just fully dressed and fully formed and ready to battle. And there's a lot of different versions of this story as well, but that's kind of the thing. He became such a formidable challenge to any kind of villains that the spirits or the gods up in heaven granted him immortality and brought him up to live in heaven. There's, again, lots of different stories about this. Now, the newest version, he looks like this. I do not like this. This is a new cartoon that's coming out, Nezha. This is Nezha Part 2. And they drawn him, I personally don't like the way they draw him, make him look like a monster, kind of, sort of. And I understand why they did make him look a little monstrous, and that's because he has a reputation of being a brat. And you can see he's got the gold ring around his neck there. He uses that gold ring and he makes it on fire, and he destroys evil monsters and villains with it. The reason why I don't like it, look how they made his eyes all. Bleh. Personally, I think he looks like an reject from the band The Gorillas. I mean, that's just my opinion, but never mind. I want to tell, or kind of also preface this story by explaining. Well, wait, slow down for a second. Why is Singing Eagle drawing in a Chinese story into a Native American literature class? Well, let me tell you a little teeny tiny secret. This is a Navajo version of the Hero Twins. And here is, after I explained to AI I told the story to AI, and I said, "Can you draw the hero twins for me?" This is the Potawatomi version. One is Wena and the other is Wishka. Well, I've got to tell you the story now. And I'm going to do my best not to overdo it and overtalk it, but I kind of prefaced all of this. And you're going to see as I tell the story, what's the connection between this cute little kid and these cute little kids. Are you ready? Here we go. Now, bear with me. I'm probably going to mess it up because it's been a long time since I told a good Indian story, especially from our tribe, our people, the Potawatomi Nation. You ready? Here we go. Long, long, long time ago, Indian time, there was a small tribe living way up in the north. And up in the north, as you know, the summers aren't very long. The season is usually cold up there. So whenever the weather is warm, we get out there and we fish and we hunt, and the women will plant. They were good gardeners and good farmers. And they also like to dig roots. Well, there was a mother and a daughter, and they were out in the field digging for roots. And the mother told the daughter, "Stop bending over, sticking your butt out." She said, "Don't stick your butt out up into the sky when you're picking roots. No, that's a little bit indecent, and also we're in the time there's lots of spirits around, and they're gonna get you, see you, with your butt up like that." She told her daughter, "You should kneel down, or sit on the ground, or squat down, or something, but do not stick your butt up in the air." Now, as you know, young teenage girls do not listen to their mothers, do they, or do they not? Well, of course she didn't listen to her mother. She was still bending down with her butt up in the air, and sure enough, she felt a warm breeze. Woo! And her mother said, "What was that?" And she said, "Oh, nothing, Mom." And I'm trying to keep this PG-13, okay? Bear with me now. So, by and by, sure enough, the teenage girl was found to be pregnant, and everybody kept asking her, "Well, who's the father?" And "I don't know." And the mother said, "I think there's some of the spirits has something to do with this." And they're all debating, well, it couldn't have been Shawandasi. Shawandasi is the spirit of summer, because Shawandasi is fat and lazy. And of course, Kavanoshka, his twin sister, is a girl, and she's the spirit of winter. So no, that's not working. So who did it? And they're all wondering and wondering. Meanwhile, up in the sky, the chief of the sun, he finally came down and he had to admit it. He said, yeah, it's me. I turned into a warm breeze, and I went down there and I impregnated your daughter. I'm so sorry, but I love her. She's so beautiful. I want to bring her up to live with me up on the sun in the palace. I am the sun chief. And she will always, he's beautiful gold, gleaming, sparkling clothes and gold headdress, and he is just looking all spiffy. And everyone was like, "Wow, your little girl's gonna marry the sun chief," and yay! And it was all beautiful wedding, and she went and moved up and lived in the sun. Now, here's the problem, you see. First, let's take a quick break. I gotta make sure this story isn't too long. We are now at 12 minutes and 12 seconds. We will continue this in the second segment. Thank you so much for being so patient. Talk to you soon.